Hi friends, you are watching Cricket with Raghuram. I just finished watching India versus Sri Lanka second ODI, and what was it? Terrific match, terrific, superb, thriller, awesome, mind blowing. What should I call that match as? Those who have turned their TV off, thinking that India would lose this match, might have missed one of the best matches of the year, or one of the best ODI matches to be played ever. It was such an edge of the seat thriller. The match fluctuating between India, Sri Lanka, and finally India held the nerves and won the match. What a terrific match it was! Oh my God! Even I thought India would definitely lose this encounter, and when almost India had lost 5 to 6 wickets, and they were fighting at the crease, especially with Deepak Chahar batting alongside Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I thought they will just keep dodging until it is possible. They will get closer to the target and maybe they'll lose the match by not a big margin but by a small margin. But they really, boss, turned the match upside down. 84 runs partnership for the 8th wicket between Deepak Chahar and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Who could expect these two unsung heroes? They really became unsung heroes for today's match. And Deepak Chahar, salutes, boss. And the match totally belonged to Deepak Chahar and Deepak Chahar. Such a big partnership. After the match was totally written off, especially for India, and even the commentators were telling it was a good chance for Sri Lanka to bounce back and win against India after a pretty long time. Everything turned upside down for Sri Lanka, and they were totally in disappointment. Especially you should have seen those who have seen the match. You would definitely feel for their coach. So he was so frustrated. He was going on and off here and there, getting frustrated with what is happening. Come on, Sri Lanka, if you can't win from here, when you are going to win? So Sri Lanka were in the driver's seat. They were favorites for winning this match. I should tell they let off this match for India. But I wouldn't take the credit away from India. It was India who bounced back and won the match. Deepak Chahar, what to tell about this man? 69 runs in just 82 balls and remaining not out and taking India home. The entire Indian dressing room was so happy. You should see the emotions. Everybody running and hugging and jumping over these two, especially on Deepak Chahar. Deepak Chahar also backed the man of the match honors. Rightly so. There was no other option at all. So he just turned the results upside down, and what a superb win he gave to India, and what a superb match he gave to his to the India's fans. Really worth watching it was. I definitely am really happy that I didn't turn off the TV, but I just kept it on mute mode for some time, thinking that India would just go close to it, as I already said. But in the last moments, it was just terrific. Just open mouth, open eyes, open ears, everything watching the match. Very, very anxious moments, and also it was a worthy watch, I should tell. And not only the batting, Deepak Chahar's presence of mind there, that composure to stand there and get those runs. Probably India had already planned, so probably there was a message once India lost those 5-6 wickets. Even for the 6th wicket, when we could see Krunal Pandya also played a very good knock there. So he, along with Deepak Chahar, were trying to build up a partnership. They were probably thinking of taking the total or the score very closer, and if possible, when they reach within 30 to 40 runs to win, let's start smashing the balls. We are the only two left over. Probably Krunal Pandya would have thought, I am the only recognized batsman, and if Deepak Chahar can be with me for a pretty long time, so I can take the match closer. Either I can finish it off, or even Bhuvi or Kuldeep, anybody could join Deepak Chahar and finish the match. I think the tone was set there itself. The building partnership between Krunal Pandya and Deepak Chahar. And then once Krunal Pandya got out, I definitely thought it's a very difficult task for India to win, because there were no recognized batsmen at all, and Deepak Chahar doing it with Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Hats off to Bhuvneshwar Kumar also. He stood there very composed, and he did not score too many runs. He was dodging the balls, he was just blocking the balls. I thought, what this person is doing? At least he is a good batsman. He should remember his past, he should go back, he should revisit his past, and at least realize that he is a good batsman and he can bat. So, but Bhuvneshwar Kumar held on to his maturity, and when it mattered really at last, the boundary he scored, that brought the total to very closer for India to win. And one more thing, the respect really goes to Chahar, because he was struggling there with cramps. There was a lot of heat, lot of sweating. He was tired. He was sweating like anything. When it was thought that probably it's very difficult for him to bat, seeing him running those ones and twos in spite of being tired and worn out was really worth seeing. And again, once again, hats off to Deepak Chahar. He really made the match today. This match will definitely be remembered. It was not a small chase, mind you. It was a big chase. India was chasing 276 runs to win in 50 overs, and it was an uphill task, especially so when the heroes of the last match, Prithvi Shaw and Ishan Kishan, totally failed. So though Prithvi Shaw gave a good start, so suddenly in the third over, Sri Lankans brought the spinner, and Prithvi Shaw played to their plan and got out to the spinner. Shikhar Dhawan scored 29 runs, and Manish Pandey was really looking good with 37 runs. His and Surya Kumar Yadav's partnership again was building, and it was showing promise after India lost those 3 wickets that these two people could build up a big partnership. And again, it was bad luck on the part of Manish Pandey. He got run out at wrong time. Surya Kumar Yadav, yes, I would really appreciate him. A 44 ball 53. He was going at even a faster pace, but when wicket starts falling in and around him, he also started blocking the balls, and his scoring rate came down. I was expecting Surya Kumar Yadav to play a big innings and get a century today. He played a very good cameo in the previous match, 31 runs, and went not out, winning the match for India alongside Shikhar Dhawan. But in today's match, he scored 53, consecutively 2 good innings, but he could have converted that into a big total or big personal score. If Surya Kumar Yadav would have done that, win would have been even more easier for India, but we would definitely have missed that gem of an innings by Chahar. So ultimately, the result of the match is India won the match by 3 wickets with 5 balls to spare, and of course, not before creating thrilling moments. Hasaranga was the pick of the bowlers for Sri Lanka. He picked 3 wickets, and he was the only bowler who troubled the Indian batsmen. Otherwise, in the entire match, what helped India was keeping that run rate very high. They did not lose that run rate, they did not lose the tempo, the scoring rate never came down. The 275 was always in vision, even after losing 5-6 wickets. So India were looking like getting those wickets, but there were unlikely people to do that, as I already said. But it was possible if character and grit would have been applied, and Deepak Chahar and Bhuvneshwar Kumar exactly did that. Credit goes to the top order and also the upper middle order, because they had made that run rate so healthy, and it became easy, comparably easy for the lower end to finish off the match with a win. Earlier, Sri Lanka made a very good start, so when it was looking that definitely they would cross that 300 run mark, so they started losing wickets, and again they recovered. Just like it happened in the previous match, in this match also there were ups and downs in Sri Lankan batting. They did not score too many runs more in comparison to the previous match. There they were 262, here they were 275, but here they were looking good for a 300. But 2, 3, 4 contributions was really good. They could have converted those things into bigger totals. Indian bowlers kept bouncing back in the match every now and then, and did not allow Sri Lanka to cross the 300 run mark, and restricted them to 275. Charith Asalanka with 65 runs was the top scorer for Sri Lanka, while Avishka Fernando scored a brilliant 50 right at the top. In the final overs of Sri Lankan innings, Karunaratne showed heroics, where he scored 33 ball 44, and that really helped Sri Lanka to reach that target of 275. in fact give that target of 275 runs for India to win. Yuzvendra Chahal and Bhuvneshwar Kumar were pick of the bowlers for India. They picked 3 wickets each, and Deepak Chahar was not far away. He too took 2 wickets. So the match totally belonged to whom? Deepak Chahar and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Hats off to these heroes. India are now not only leading the ODI series 2-0, but have also won the series. In fact, even in the last match, India would, I think, not lose the tempo and try to make a whitewash, winning 3-0, and I would definitely wish to see that. Having won the series, we can expect some changes in the playing 11, especially from the Indian side in the third match, and that should be welcome. Thanks for watching my video. If you loved my video, kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch up with you all in my next video with yet another match review. Until then, do take care. Goodbye. Namaste.